Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing today? What about you? I'm doing okay, not bad. I'm just too stressed about my exam. Did I tell you that I have an exam on 20th? Yeah, so you're not going to have a lecture on 20th next week, Friday, because I'm going to take a real big exam for me. So I'm really nervous about that. My preparation is not good. That's why I'm very nervous. So next week, Thursday, you're going to have your first exam, which is 19th. And then on 20th, which is Friday, you are going to go to your PLTO, but there won't be any lecture. And I already posted the review sheet on Brightspace. Did you see the review sheet? Yeah. Good, good. If you haven't seen the review sheet, this is what the review sheet I posted in our main page under content. If you click on content, you see on the left panel, it says exam reviews and solutions. You click there, and then you see two versions. One is PDF and one is Word. So whatever is easier for you, use that version. You can click on the 4 arrows to make it larger, and then also you can download it here. You can also print from here. And here I says, it doesn't have any solution. It doesn't have any answer because the entire review sheet is based on the class lecture. So all the questions we went over in class are there. Actually, most of them I went over in class. So if you want to see the solution, click on our lecture video, and then it will take you to all the videos I posted for this class. The videos are arranged in lecture-wise and section-wise. So lecture 1, section 3.2, lecture 2, section 3.3. I wrote that. Let me just show you the thing. If you click on the link, it will take you to our class page. And then see the first lecture is 3.2, then we have 3.3, 3.5, then we had 3.4, 3.5. Probably I made a mistake. It should be 3.3, 3.4, and then 3.4, 3.5. So if you need to see the solution for any part, all you have to do is click on the link, and then it will take you to those questions. And I also mentioned here that you're going to have at least one question from each of the 15 questions I posted here. So from 3.2, 3, 4, all combining, you're going to have one question where you're going to do x-intercept, y-intercept, slope, and graph. So combining all 4 things, you're going to do one question. And then in 3.4, you have finding the slope and the secant line. You're going to see both of them. Plus, you're going to given the graph of the line and find out the equation. Maybe I will ask both version, or maybe probably will one version. Not sure yet. I didn't make the exam yet. And then from 3.5, we have 4 questions. Oh, I'm going to combine question 5 and question 2. So in question 2, it says find the slope. In question 5, it says find the equation. So combining them, part A will be what's the slope that goes to the 2 points. Part B will be what's the equation of the line. And then question 6, find the line from given point and slope. Definitely 1. Find the slope of the parallel and perpendicular line. Definitely 1. And then from question 8, we have many different scenarios. Sometimes they're asking for perpendicular to the x-axis, sometimes perpendicular to the y-axis, sometimes it's parallel or perpendicular to a specific line. So by combining all 4 scenarios, you're going to get at least 6 to 8 of them, probably 8 of them in the exam. And each question will have 3 parts. First, you're going to graph whatever your idea you are applying to get the parallel line or perpendicular line. So show your thinking process, and then what's the equation of the parallel or perpendicular line, and what's the slope of the parallel or perpendicular line. So from question 8, you're going to get 24 points. Then the yellow passes, this will not be in this exam, but they may come in the final exam. So for this exam, you can ignore ABC, but for the final exam, make sure you know them before the final exam. And then in 3.6, as I said, to enjoy your exam, I'm going to give a few of these. All you have to do is draw a vertical line and tell me whether they're a function or not. Same thing, question number 2, I'll give you at least 3. At least 3, okay? It could be more, but definitely at least 3. All you have to do is figure out whether they're a function or not and why. One question will be from 11 and expect to see fraction. Then for domain and range, probably 1 or 2, finding domain and range from the graph, and definitely all 3 in question number 13. So first one doesn't have any problem because it's just a line. And then the second one is a rational, so problem is in the denominator. Denominator cannot be 0. Third one is an even root, square root. So the function inside the square root has to be positive or 0. So figure out your problem, write down your condition, and then find the domain in table notation. Oh, I should have written this down. Find the domain in table notation. And then we are going to do 4.123 today, and you are going to have 2 questions from here. One question will have a unique solution, like you're going to get a number for X, a number for Y. And for another question, either it will be no solution or infinite solution. And then for 4.5, we'll decide in our next class whether to put this in this exam or we should put this in the next exam. Why? Because we have a bad schedule. This week, there is no class on Thursday. So today and Friday. Next week, there is no class on Tuesday. And Thursday is your exam. So basically, you have only 2 lectures before your exam, today and Friday. So today, we're going to finish 4.123. And on Friday, we're going to start 4.5. So if I see you guys are okay with 4.5, you're understanding everything correctly, then I'll put this in the exam. But if I see it's bad for you guys, then I'm going to put it out for the next exam. Okay? So we'll decide. And study this review sheet. So try doing all these questions before Friday. Like at least look at this and then see what do you think is the hardest. So if you want me to go over any of these, then I'll go over them on Friday. And then we'll do 4.5. Okay. And also for on Friday here, PLTL. So whatever you need help with, you can definitely ask the PLTL leaders to help you with them, with those things. Cool. And tonight is your homework due for chapter 3, homework and quizzes. Today, since you're going to finish 4.123, so next Tuesday, you have your 4.1, 2, and 3 homework and quizzes too. But 4.5, I'm going to give you time, and then you can do them slowly, all the questions. Okay?
For homework. When the homework do, the quizzes do also?
Mm-hmm. So first you do homework and get at least 80 or 85, I forgot which one.
The quizzes do the same day.
Same day. And homework has unlimited attempts, unlimited time, but quizzes has only 2 attempts and 45 minutes only. So I will say first take the quiz and then keep the screenshot for all the questions, because second attempt will have the same question, just the numbers are different. So as long as you do well enough, you have all the questions in front of you from the first attempt, try them again and get all of them correct, and then try the second attempt. In that way, you'll get all 100% in all the quizzes. Okay, any question, comments, concern, complaint? So I showed you how to find this review sheet. Also, if you want to go to our class lecture, you can simply click on the class playlist and then click on this link and then it will take you to YouTube. Also, there is a group chat. Did you guys see the group chat? It's a group chat for our class or for all of my 1023 students. So it's a WhatsApp chat. If you click here, and then it will take you to WhatsApp, and then just follow the direction. If you want to join the group, I had guys are doing really well in the group. They're communicating, they're enjoying their time. Okay, they're enjoying the math in their group. So if you want to enjoy this class, definitely join. And anytime you need help with any question, just post your question there, and then your peers will help you. And if you have trouble joining, email her, lady. She's not here yet. She'll be here. So email her, and then she will help you to join the group. Okay. With this, I'm done with all the extra things to talk about. And now we are starting our 4.123. Any question? Okay, so when we do system of linear equations, when we solve them, there are three methods. First method is graphing method, which is really bad because you don't get, if you don't draw them accurately, you don't get the real results. It happened in my last class. I graphed this one and then I got one solution, but in reality, the solution was different. So let me do the same thing with you, just to show you how unreliable graphing method is. But it is really reliable with computer. Like when you do the homework on MyMathLab, it will be reliable because MyMathLab will draw the graph for you. They'll give you all the grids and everything. So all you have to do is know how to input your information. So here I have two questions. One is in standard form and one is half slope format, not completely slope format. So this is in standard form. Let me start with this. Draw. Here we have this. So I'm going to show you two methods to graph. Since this is standard form, I would like to use X and Y intercept. This is the best for standard form to graph a line. And for the second, since this is in slope intercept form, so I'm going to use slope and Y intercept to graph. So in that way, I will refresh your memory for the exam, and then you can pick whatever method you want to use to graph your line during the exam. So first method, X and Y intercept. X and Y intercept. So there are two methods, remember? One is either really solve to get X and Y intercept, or there is a shortcut, you just have to remember. Let me use the shortcut. In my other class, I used the real method, so you can just watch the recording. I'm going to post it later. So shortcut. To find x-intercept, you're going to take your c, so x equals. X-intercept means x equals. X equals, you're going to take your c, which is a constant, and divide by your x. X-intercept, divide by your a. So whatever you have in front of the x is called a. Whatever you have in front of y, this is called b, and the constant is called c. So a, b, c. So to get the x-intercept, you divide the constant by the coefficient for the x, which is a. And to find y-intercept, it's y equals, you take the same c, but this time you divide the coefficient for the y, which is b. And this is a shortcut. So let's do this. What is our c in this equation? -4. And what is our a in this equation? -6. Can you reduce them? Can you reduce 4 and 6? They both are divisible by what number? 2. So let's divide both of them by the 2. Negative cancel out because we have double negative. What is 4 divided by 2? And 6 divided by 2? 3. Now let's write down the point. It didn't mention here, but in the exam, they will ask you, write your intercept as a point format. So how do you write x-intercept as a point? What's the x value in the points? 2/3 is the x and y is the 0. Let's do the same for our y-intercept. We already know our c is -4. But what is our b? Do you see any coefficient in front of y? -1. It is 1, but since y has a negative sign in the front here, so this is -1. And this one is easy, right? What is -4 divided by -1? Just 4, because they cancel out. So as a point format, how we are going to write? What's the x value in the y-intercept? 0, and our y is here, 4. So we are going to plot x and y-intercept, x-intercept on the x-axis, y-intercept on the y-axis, and then connect them with a straight line. But there is a problem, 2/3. Approximately how much is 2/3? Like when you graph, we definitely need to graph it somewhere on the line. But where do we find 2/3? So can you guess approximately how much is 2/3? If you're dividing this pen into 3 equal pieces, how much is 1/3? Or let's say you have $100. If you're dividing $100 into 3 pieces evenly, you cannot do that, but at least you're trying to divide this evenly. How much one person is supposed to get? 30. How much dollar was one person supposed to get if you divide your $100 evenly into 3 pieces? You have $100 and you have 3 friends to divide your $100. How much one person is supposed to get? One friend, $33. And then the second person will get another 33. And the third person gets 33, but then you have extra $1. So forget about the $1. So how much 2 friends gonna get? The combination of 2/3 is how much? 33 plus 33, 66. So 2/3 is around 66.66, which is more than 50%. So when you graph, this is our 1, this is our 2, this is 3. Our first point will be somewhere that is more than 50%. See, one bad thing. We don't even know how to graph a decimal in the XY plane. But anyway, good news, our y is the whole number. It's 4, so we plot y here. And then you graph. So let me see if my ruler works this time. No, for some reason the ruler doesn't work today. So I had to use my best estimation, which is even worse. See, this is the best I can do.
So is nearby the number 1? No, if I know by the number 2, as 2 is the.
This is 5, right?
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So x-intercept is 2/3. It's smaller than 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 piece out of 3 piece. 3/3 is 1. So 2/3 is definitely less than 1. So somewhere here. Okay. At least I drew something. Now let's look at our second equation. Our second equation is 1/2 y equals 2 minus 3x. The order is wrong. So first, let's reorder them. We have 1/2 y equals -3x and then plus 2. Our real slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So is our second line in slope-intercept form? If you compare the second line with the actual format of the slope-intercept form, are they same? Do they have the same format? Almost, right? What's the difference? Fraction. Y is supposed to be alone. So in our equation, is our y alone? So what do you do? So since we don't want the 2, we can cancel if you put 2 over 1. Go ahead.
We're not supposed to change the value of the signs. Because
You do it if you switch your position from left side to the right side of the equal sign.
okay, but you put the number 3 first. So
But I'm still on the same side of the equal sign.
okay.
If you cross the equal sign, you have to change the sign. But if you stay on the same side, the sign doesn't change. So we can multiply by 2 and then we get our y. But math is fair. Remember I said before? If you multiply one thing by 2, what do you have to do to the other side? We need to multiply the second one by 2. We need to multiply the third one by 2. So if you give gift toys to one kid, you have to bring toys to every kid in the house. Otherwise, you're in trouble. They will fight and they'll make it crazy. So that's why math is fair. Math doesn't want to get crazy. So we are fair. We multiply every term by 2. So now our y is alone. And what do you get for the x? The coefficient for x is what? Plus 4. So this is our slope. And this is our y-intercept. So y equals 4 as a point, it's 0, 4. And slope is -6, m equals -6. But we don't want a whole number. We want a fraction because we want to graph the slope and y-intercept. So how can you make -6?
I have a question. So we wouldn't do the same thing we use, like the x-intercept, y-intercept, x equals CA?
No, I'm using slope and y-intercept. Remember, there are a few methods of graphing. One method is x and y-intercept. The other method was slope and y-intercept. Trying to refresh your memory with all the steps, all the methods. So if you have standard form, definitely go with x and y-intercepts. This is what I did. Second equation is not in standard form, but it's in slope-intercept form. So why not use slope and y-intercept to graph? You can do the same thing, but I don't want to. The slope and y-intercept method. So if you want to use this method, our one requirement, slope has to be a fraction. So our slope is a whole number. How can you make this into a fraction? How can you make any number into a fraction? Put it 1 below that. So every number has a fraction below. It's just invisible. And now we are making it visible because we need to walk. And to walk, we need to see our steps. So we have -6 on the numerator. So we start with the y-intercept. That is our first point, y equals 4. Now for that 4, we are going to walk 6 units to which direction? Down. If the numerator is positive, you go up. If the numerator is negative, you go down. And then from that position, we need to walk the denominator. Our denominator is positive, so which direction? Right. If you forgot all these things, review your chapter 3. I forgot which section, but I wrote down all the details. If the numerator is positive, you go up. Numerator is negative, you go down. If the denominator is positive, you go right. If the denominator is negative, you go left from the y-intercept. So let's start with the y-intercept.
I have one more question. So for the first equation, you always put the ABC on top and solve the y-intercept and x-intercept. So we can do the x equals c over x and y equals c over b. For the second one, you always try to put y equals mx plus b, right?
Not always. If your format is already in the slope-intercept form, then use this method. But if you already have a standard form, then use X and Y intercept again.
Okay, but if you
So
don't-
look at the two formats. Depending on what format you have, you pick which method. So depending on the format, for standard form, it's better to use X and Y intercepts. This one is not in standard form. This is in slope intercept form.
so use the slope and Y.
So it's slope and Y intercept method. But you can use any method to anywhere. It doesn't matter. But if you want to make your life easier, then this is the recommendation. So now let's graph using slope and Y intercept. Our slope is Y, slope is 4. So we start by plotting the 4 here on the Y intercept. Now from this 4, we need to walk 6 units down and then 1 unit right. So 1 unit down, 2 unit down, 3 unit down, 4 unit down, 5 unit down, 6 unit down, and then 1 unit right here. So it could be this way, or it could be different way. Huh? You start from your y-intercept. So let me draw here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 y-intercepts. So plot your first point. Now from that y-intercept, you need to work your slope. How do you work? You go from up down to left right. So the top says go down 6 units. So down 1 unit, down 2 unit, down 3 unit, down 4 unit, down 5 unit, down 6 units. You go down 6 unit, and then from that position, the denominator says go 1 unit right. So from this position, go 1 unit right, and then connect the 2 points.
So it's always gonna be wrong when you use it.
Because we have 2 equations.
So basically, from where I plug the y-intercept is where I start counting.
So now you see, since my graphing is this, so it's not really so clear what is our solution, right? Solution means where two lines intersect. Definitely here they're intersecting, definitely. So is this the solution? Or do we have no solution? Or do you have infinite solution? Definitely we have a solution because we have 1 point where they both have the same y value. But it looks like they're also same line, right? Kind of like. It's confusing, right? So graphing method is bad because unless you draw accurately, 100% accurately, the result is not clear to you.
You're choosing one to do.
Hmm?
So you're choosing one to do, either graphing or not, right?
Either graphing or we are going to learn 2 new methods. Actually, 3 new things we're going to learn. So we tried graphing method and we got lost at the end. We did good job doing all the algebraic work, but in the graph portion, I don't have a ruler. So how am I going to graph? I got stumped. I have nothing to do. So then let's use a trick. The trick says, well, whatever equation you have, just solve for y. If you solve for y, and then you see that you have the same slope with the same y-intercept, that means you have infinite solution. But if you have same slope with different y-intercept, that means the 2 lines are parallel. Parallel lines have same slope, but different y-intercept. There is no solution. So if you have same slope with different y-intercept, means 2 lines are parallel, they will never intersect. So you cannot have a solution. But if you have same slope, same y-intercept, that means you have the same line. Same slope, same y-intercept means the same line. And if you have 2 same lines, they're intersecting infinitely many times. So your solution would be infinite solution. So now let's go back and solve for y in both equations. We already solved for y in one of the equation, the second one. So solve for y in the first equation and see what you get. The equation 2.
Let's see the person.
Equation 2 was y equals, this is equation 2. Let me write it here first. Negative 6x plus 4 and equation 1. So these are the two equations on the left side. Negative 6x minus y equals negative 4. Negative 6x minus 4 equals, no, negative 6x minus y equals negative 4. So let's see what happens. So you add the 6x to both sides, you get negative y equals 6x minus 4 divided by negative 1. You get y equals negative 6x plus 4. Now observe our equation number 1 with equation number 2. Do we have same slope? Do you have same y-intercept? So they are the same line. We just didn't see that because they tricked us with giving two different formats. Y-intercept is 4, our slope is negative 6. So do you have one solution or do you have infinite solution? Infinite solution. So the two lines here, which I couldn't draw perfectly, they are actually same line. So we have infinite solution. That's why in the exam, don't even bother trying the graphing method. You'll just waste your time. But for MyMATLAB, you definitely have to try it. Good thing is that MyMATLAB will draw everything for you. You just have to put inputs into MyMATLAB, and then they will draw the graph, and then you can see everything clearly, whether you have the same line or parallel lines. So this is our trick for graphing. Instead of using graphing method, we're going to use the trick method. Now use the trick to figure out what's the solution for the next one. Do you have infinite solution or do you have no solution? This trick works only for infinite or no solution. For unique solution, it doesn't work. And let me take that one. A good time. So today is 2:10. Andrea, go ahead.
Do you input no solution when we finish the question?
So you have to do any math, just solve for y, and then observe slope and y-intercept. So if you have same slope, then you look at the y-intercept. But if you start with different slope, then this method is not for you. Then you have to use either substitution method or elimination methods. Shake low. Shake, right? Shake. Okay, sorry. Christian. Christina. Christopher. Danielle. Devlat. Tokirov. Dennis. Idalis. Jared. Jay. Joshua. Justin. Caitlin. Kelly. Should be sent. Kyle. Lady. Muntaha, Nayari, Nicholas I, Nicholas S, RST, Rana, Ricardo, Taj, Mora, Vichy. Okay. Ready, guys? Any volunteer? John B. Are you sure you're in my class? Oh, come on. I just have to sign your paper. I don't have to call you. I was like, wow, John B. It's familiar, but I don't remember having a student. Nice to meet you, John B. Who is ready?
So for the first equation, we do this, right? The second equation, we divide the two over. Or are we solving for the first equation?
Solve for y in both equation. Because we are using shortcut. We don't want to use the graph.
So I took the two over.
Mhm.
And y
So how did you do that? So you have 2x plus y equals 7. And what did you do to move the 2x? Did you add, subtract, multiply, divide?
You have to put -2x in both sides, so it gets canceled out.
So you're subtracting. Mm-hmm.
And you have to buy -2.
Positive 2 because 2 doesn't have any negative sign in the front. So divide by positive 2. This is 2, 2. Y equals negative 2x. 1 is invisible in the denominator. Now, do we have same slope? Oh, if you observe the slope, do we have same slope? Yes, you do. How about the y-intercept? No, this one has y-intercept 7. And how about the y-intercept in this equation? 0. It's not, anything is not here. So it's 0. They have the same y-intercept, so same slope. So they're parallel, definitely. And different y-intercept means we are giving guarantee that they will never intersect. So this is this condition. So the answer is no solution. Go ahead.
What's the order you're trying to get it into the solve? Like, you know, like put the letters on top. What are we trying to like?
Okay. So when you are trying to find x-intercept, y-intercept, and slope. So I said, well, there's a shortcut to find all three. You don't have to do any math. So we started the last graph using graphing method because it says solve this using graphing method. So we started to do this to graph. So we needed the x-intercept and y-intercept. Since the first equation is standard form, so we went for the x-intercept by applying the formula x equals c over a. And we went for y-intercept by writing y equals c over b. So that means we need to know what is a, what is b, what is c. So I wrote this down on the top of the standard form. So we got our x-intercept, y-intercept, and we went to the graphing paper and we graphed that. So in your exam, you're going to do the same thing. There'll be one question where it says find x-intercept, y-intercept graph, and then there will be another question which says find the slope. The slope is negative x over y, the shortcut formula.
I did it a different way. When I did that system of equation, I just did I did 2y equals negative 4x, so I just divided 2 on both sides, and then I got that y equals -2, so I plugged the -2 back into the equation.
This is called substitution method. We didn't land it yet. You're going to land it now. You're not wrong, okay? I'm just showing you all the tricks to apply in the exam because exam doesn't have much time. So you need to know all the shortcuts.
The question is just when y with mx plus b.
So the second equation doesn't have any standard form. It has slope-intercept form. So instead of solving for x and solving for y, why not use slope and y-intercept to graph? So if you're given an equation in slope-intercept form, you don't need x and y-intercept. All you need is what's the slope and what's the y-intercept. So that's why we need to get the y alone, because in slope-intercept form, y has to be alone on the left side. So we did all these things multiplied by 2 to get the y alone, and we found there was slope and y-intercept. So that means using these two information, we can graph. So I went to the graph paper and graphed the second equation. But then we faced a problem. My graph wasn't good. So I don't know what's the solution. So it got stuck. So that's why I said, well, graphing method is bad. It's not reliable. You can do it if you have electronic, like calculator or computer. Then it's the best method. But on the paper, it's the worst method. So why not? Let me show you a trick so that you don't have to use the graphing method. What's the trick? Just solve for y. When you solve for y, if you have the same slope and same y-intercept, means you have the same line, so you have infinite solution. And if you have same slope with different y-intercept, means they are two parallel lines, so there are no solution. So this is the trick to replace the graphing method. Now, you don't have to use this trick because we have more methods. Go ahead, Joshua, go ahead.
I have a question. So, what if there's a different slope in one of the equations?
Then you don't have infinite solution or no solution. You're going to have unique solution. Means you really need to solve for x and solve for y. So if you lost already, forget about everything I said. Just forget, okay? There are two new methods called substitution and elimination. You can always use one of these two methods to figure out whatever solution you have. Okay? So bad experience, it is. Now you're going to have good experience with the substitution method. The substitution method says, first solve for one variable. Whatever you get, place that into the other equation for that variable. For example, here, we have one standard form, 3x minus 2y equals 7. But the second one is not in standard form, not in slope-intercept form. However, we have one variable alone, x equals y plus 3. So anytime you see x in your first equation, replace only that x with this entire y plus 3. Why? Why do we care? Well, if you do that, then on the first equation, you're not going to see two variables. You're going to see only one variable. So why does it matter? Because it matters because if you have only one variable in your equation, it's easy to solve. All you have to do is combine like terms, get the variable alone on one side. That's it. So let's start. We have the first equation, 3x minus 2y plus equals 7. But now I'm not going to write this x. Instead, I'm going to write y plus 3. But keep everything else same. So we have 3 in the beginning with a multiplication, minus 2y on the right side equals 7. So replace this x with the entire y plus 3, and that's why this method is called substitution. You substituted one variable with another variable. Now you have a subtraction and a multiplication. What comes first? The multiplication or the subtraction? Multiplication. So you're going to multiply, in other words, you're going to distribute your 3 in the y plus 3. 3y plus 9. And we have our rest of the things, negative 2y equals 7. Now this variable, this equation is how many variables you have in this equation? One variable, but you see twice. So they are like terms. So we can combine them. So what do you get? 3y minus 2y, 1y, and we have plus 9 equals 7. Can you solve for y easily now? Subtract 9, subtract 9. So how much is the y? Y equals negative 2. That means we are going to get unique solution. Unique means one solution. So we have y, we found the y. Now we need to find the x. When you have unique solution, means you have a point where the two lines are intersecting. So you need to know what's the x and what's the y. We found the y, so how do you find the x?
You have to like choose a system, yeah. And
Choose either one of them. I'm going to pick the bottom one because x is already x is already single here. So x equals y plus 3. But do you know what is y? Negative 2. So negative 2 plus 3, positive 1. So we found our.
I don't know. Is there like a way to know beforehand whether it's going to be a big solution or a huge solution?
Not in real life, but in this class, if you see a fraction type, probably it's no solution or infinite solution. For example, see here, not this one, the last one. It has a fraction. So usually for fraction, they give no infinite solution, usually in this class. But in real life, we actually don't know.
I have a question.
Mhm.
For that part, how can I know like which number is better for me to use like to substitute? Like in the example you use the value of t. You recommend us like always pick the first number of the equation or
Are you talking about substitution method or elimination method? So here, whatever is alone, whatever variable is alone, you're going to pick that to replace. So here, x is alone on one side of the equal sign. So we are going to replace this x with the other side of the equal sign. If your y is alone on one side of the equal sign, we're going to replace y with whatever we have on the other side of the equal sign. So whatever is alone. If nothing is alone, then make something alone. And then do the replacement. So when you write the solution, you have to write as a point format. So x comma y, x value is 1, y is negative 2. So this is what you do. In the final exam, sometimes they ask for x value, sometimes they ask for only y value, sometimes they ask for both. So be very careful what they're asking. Okay. Now we have fractions. So what do you expect to have the answer? Either infinite or no. Either no solution or infinite solution. Okay, so let's see, is this true here? Which one you want me to go? Both of them, B or C, or both of them? B. Okay, let's start with B. B has two fractions and the numbers are different. Okay, so I'm going to use substitution method again. Why? Because one of the variable is already alone. So if something is already alone, why not just use substitution? You don't have to, but why not? So I'm going to replace x in the second equation with this entire horrible looking thing. But just because it looks bad, it doesn't mean it will be bad. So we have 4x minus 3y equals 20. This x turn into something bad. 3/4y plus 5/2. But we still have our 4 in the front, and we still have our minus 3y equals 20 on the other side. So I used substitution. I substituted x with the entire whatever we have for x. And it looks bad, right? But at least you need to pound this. What are you supposed to do? Multiplication or subtraction? Multiplication. So we know, at least we know that we're going to multiply or distribute this 4 into inside in both terms. So let's do that. We have 4 and we are multiplying inside 3/4y. And then we have again plus 4. We are multiplying 5/2 inside. So distribute the 4 to both term inside. And outside we still have our minus 3y equals 20.
We just don't multiply the 4 inside the parentheses. And then leave the outside.
No, we still have to keep going on.
It's not,
I'm waiting for you to write.
it's not, multiply the 4 by the 3. And
We
divide
We have to simplify that.
it.
So you have 2 choices. Multiply 4 times 3 and divide by 4. Or what's the shortcut I showed you at the beginning of the class? Not this class, like beginning of other classes. What can you do if you don't want to multiply? Cancel. We have 4 on the numerator and 4 on the denominator. Why not cancel instead of multiplying and dividing? We have 4 on the top, on the numerator, 2 on the denominator. So 2 goes to 4 how many times? 2 times. And now we have no more denominators. So we ignore all the denominators. We have 3y here plus 10. So this gives us 10, this gives us 3y, and we still have our minus 3y and 20. And now it becomes a simple line. What do you see? We have 3y positive. You didn't have to do that. You see that 3y and 3y cancel out. So you have 10 on one side equal 20 on the other side. Is 10 and 20 same number? So this is something false. It's not true. False. Definitely $10 and $20 are the same. So for false, what do you think the solution type? Infinite or no? No. No solution. See, I said before, if you say fraction, either the answer will be no solution or infinite solution. Not always, okay? Only in this class. And I'm not sure about my method. These are from final exam. So in the final exam, if you see fraction, most likely either no solution or infinite solution. So even if you do have a real solution, that time the y's or the x's are not going to get canceled. You can be able to solve. So if you can be able to solve, you keep going on. Here, you cannot solve anymore because all the variables got canceled out. Christian, question? Huh?
What if the numerator for 5/2 equals 3?
You take the LCD. Or you can use the other method, solve for y. Because you already see in the fraction, means either no solution, infinite solution. So just solve for y. And then you'll see. So you get lost, are you guys lost? Little bit. Okay, then try these two already did. So forget about these two. Try C. No, there's another question actually here. This one is a good one. Try this C.
I canceled both this 5 and this 5 with the 3
You
stay
cannot do
positive.
that until you distribute. So multiplication, you need to distribute. This entire thing is multiplying by 5.
Mhm.
So distribute the 5 here and distribute the 5 there.
Yeah, no, but it'll just be. It'll just be that. Cancel, just cancel. Yeah, so then
So you can cancel here, but you cannot cancel there.
I was just gonna skip this
They're
step.
the same.
So then would the 3 stay positive or negative?
Whatever sign you have here.
So it's negative, okay.
You know about that. I know it's not right, but I do wrong.
So your y is 3/5x minus 3. So you didn't replace y, you replace x.
Okay.
Y is this.
Okay.
You replace x. What's the negative answer? Which one? And you did everything mentally?
I have a question. When you have a number equal to the other number, that means it's true.
If you have the same number, then it's true. True means they're the same line. Okay, so you had 3x and then you replace 5. This is good. Okay, so how do you get plus here?
Because I just canceled this number.
But what sign you have?
Oh, I put plus because the 3 is positive.
Yeah, but this 5 is negative, and you're multiplying them. You almost got it. Almost.
That's right. Because this plus sign here from when I was distributing, what happened to it? Just leave it?
So you have minus 5 times minus 3. So what do you get?
Negative 15.
Really? Minus 5 times minus 3.
Oh, positive, you're right.
So then you have to like cancel out.
And that's it. That's it. And then you see what is left. A true thing's left or a false thing left.
Right. But let's. Now I got.
So here, do that, right? Because 0.
How do you get 5y?
Because we left that one here.
But you are distributing 15 divided by 5. What is 15?
3. And then it cancels out.
All right. Then how do you have y left here?
From the equation minus 5y.
What? You 5y. This is your y. So there is no 5y left anymore.
Oh, yes, yes, okay.
Because this
so
is
it's
a
just
y,
yeah,
so this thing
it's
is
gone,
gone.
okay.
So you're left with 0 on here and
Oh,
0 on
yeah,
here.
oh, okay. Yeah. So this is not even it.
No,
So it'd just be
So-
0 to 0.
0 equals 0.
Yeah, okay.
So it is true or false.
True.
Is true means whatever solution.
Thank you.
So,
Infinite. Not thank you, infinite solution.
so let's say, this wasn't a negative, right? This was positive 5, and I got, negative
If you have
15.
negative 15 equals positive 15, is negative and positive 15 the same number?
No, of course not, but what I'm
That means
saying,
they are false.
but what I'm saying is like, so just disregard the plus sign. The plus sign is just here because I'm combining like terms.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Who is completely lost? Help me with this one. I'll help you. You already have enough information. You're not completely lost. Be honest, who is completely lost? Okay, let me read your case then. Or whom I think need help. Mhm. Explain. Exactly. See, I was right. Good job to me. Okay, so let me help you. You know, this is called substitution. So what you're going to substitute with what? What you're going to substitute with what variable? Or first of all, which variable you think you can substitute? Y. Good job. See, you got it. So you go to the second equation. You have 3x minus 5y equals 15. And you already know you don't have to write this y because you're going to substitute this. Now, what you're going to substitute with this y? 3 over 5x minus 3. You did great. Now the second thing. We have a subtraction here and we have a multiplication here. What comes first? Subtraction or multiplication? So how you are going to multiply? What you're going to do? Distribute. This is called distribute. So you're going to distribute this. So we have our 3x. It's completely harmless. We keep it. And we have our negative 5. We are going to distribute to the first term. What is our first term? 3 over 5x. Then we distribute to the second term, but we're still going to write negative 5 because we are multiplying. Now, what is our second term? Negative 3. Equals this 15. Is this clear? Is this clear, guys? So if you understood this, that means you are half correct. You already have learned everything. Now, the second thing, we are going to do cancellation because we don't like the decimal, the denominator. So first term doesn't have denominator, third term doesn't have denominator, last term doesn't have denominator. The only thing which has a denominator is the middle. Can we cancel this denominator? We can. Why we can? Because we have 5 on the numerator. Anytime you have something that is divisible by the denominator, or at least reducible, the numerator and denominator, go ahead and reduce them. So here we can completely cancel them because they're the same number. So now let's see what is left. 3x, which is completely unharmed. We have negative 3x. And the third term becomes positive 15 equals 15. And now what do you see? They die. So what is left? Is this true? Of course, 15 is 15. So anytime you bump into something true, what type of solution you have? No solution or infinite solution? Infinite solution.
What if one of the numbers came out, like negative and one positive? Would be non-solution?
because they are two different numbers. So see, for infinite solution and no solution, that's all you have to do. Substitute, if the variables are gone, you have nothing to do. So you have two choices, no solution or infinite solution. Here we have infinite. Previously, when we canceled all the variables, we get two different numbers, which is completely false. So we got no solution. So the trick is fraction. Usually in this class, fraction means no or infinite. Now, if you don't have a fraction, even if you don't have a fraction, you still have three choices: infinite solution, no solution, or unique solution. So let's go to the third method. It's called elimination because we want to eliminate one of the two variables, either eliminate x or eliminate y. In order to eliminate, we need to add them, the two equations. That's why this is called addition. So it's addition or elimination method. Can I flip my page? What? So you pick which variable you want to cancel. And then from there, you take your steps. So I see my x is single in the first equation. And for y's, they both have some different numbers. So which one you think will be easier to cancel, the x or the y's? X, because one of the x is already single, it doesn't have anything. So the second equation has 3x plus 2y equals 4. In order to cancel and get 0 here, which x we want to have? How many x we want to have on the top? 3x. But 3x plus 3x is 6x. We want to have negative 3x. So when you add them, they become 0. Now you observe the first equation. Our first equation has x in the front. X plus 3y equals negative 17. We cannot just put negative 3 in the front, right? Remember math is fair? We want to put negative 3 here because that's going to make the x to get vanished. But then if you put negative 3 in front of x, what do you have to do to the other two terms? Put negative 3 in the front, negative 3 in the front to multiply. So you're multiplying the entire first equation by negative 3. This is what we did. Why? So you have x in the first equation, but we want to have negative 3x. We can do that. If you multiply x by negative 3, we get negative 3x.
So you're trying to make the equation similar?
Same with different sign. Because we decided to cancel the x.
So what you're basically trying to do is cancel out the negative 3x and the 3x.
So our goal is to cancel the x. If your goal is to cancel the y, then you have to do different approach. But to cancel the x, you just have to multiply this single x by negative 3 and add with the second equation. They cancel out, there is no more x. Now, when you multiply only x with negative 3, you also have to multiply the 3y. Sorry, this is negative. You're lost? Okay, let me start from the beginning again. Look at the first equation. Okay, let me erase everything else. Our first equation is x minus 3y equals negative 17. Our second equation is 3x plus 2y equals 4. Our goal is to add them because this is called addition method, so you're going to add them. But when you add them, we want to cancel these two out. Right now, can you cancel them out? Right now, can you cancel them out? No, because you're going to get 4 if you add. What can you put here in front of x so that when you add, they cancel out? Negative 3. But myth is here. Remember when you buy toy for one kid, you have to buy the same toy for every kid in your house. So 3y said, hey, I want -3. We said, okay, no problem, go ahead. Have -3 here. And now -70 says, oh, me too, I want that. So we said, okay, we are spending our money, no problem. Have -3 for all three. And now what happens? -3, +3x cancel out. And now you have to see what do we get in the middle. What do we have here? Negative times negative, positive 9y. Because negative times negative turn into positive, right? So positive 9y. And what do we have here? Positive 51. If you don't know how it's positive 51, multiply 17 by 3 manually. So now we have 9y plus the 2y. How many y's we have? 11y. And we have 51 plus the 4. 55. Now our life is so easy. By 11. So what is our y? 5. That means we have a unique solution. The two lines they gave us, they intersect at one point. That means we need x and y both. But we found only y. How do you find x? We plug in y into one of these equations. Which equation is easier? First one, because our x is already alone. Not alone, like single. So x minus 3y equals -17. We already know our y is 5. So we have x minus 3 times 5 equals -17. So x minus 15 equals -17. So we add the 15 to both sides. X equals -2. So now we are happy because this point here, we already found both of them. X is -2, y is 5. So you write this is our solution. So if no variable cancel out, you have a number, one for x, one for y. But if the variable cancel out, that means either no solution or infinite solution. Okay? Now, before you go, try one of these. Observe our 15 and 5y, they're misplaced. So make sure first step, rearrange them so that x and y, the two friends you have, they're together. And add 5y. I looked so big. So we have x plus 5y. This is negative 15 because
I know, I did it at the bottom.
okay. So we have negative 3x minus 5y equals,
Yeah.
right? Equals 45. And then we have 3x minus 2y equals 23. So they cancel out. Right, so you have plus 5y and then minus 15. So when you multiply negative 15, no, this is 5y, not 15y, right? Oh, no, sorry, never mind. You multiply. Okay, so we divided by 4. Okay.
And I plugged it in, it gave me a big number.
All right, but this big number looks bad. I think it's 20. So you have x.
Because I added the 4. Let me see. Did I do it wrong?
What is correct, but 34 is wrong. So you did something wrong in that part.
So then I plug in, so the x, or this one I plugged in. Yeah, I did x plus, and then the y I plugged in. So I got 20, because 5 times, oh, negative 4.
Negative 20.
Minus 20 equals 15, and then I add the 20, and I get 35.
One of them is definitely wrong, I know. What mistake you made? 3x minus 2y equals 23. And then negative 3x minus 15 is positive 45. So negative 17 is 68. So y is negative 4. Now x minus 20 is minus 15. X
So-
minus 20 is minus 15. So when you add the 20,
This also be 5y. Okay,
it should be 5, not 35.
okay, thank you.
Okay, since we don't have time, let's go over this real quick. So in the first one, when you swap them around, anytime you cross the equal sign, you change sign. So x 5y is crossing the equal sign, becomes positive 5y. 15 is crossing the equal sign, so it becomes negative 15. And then if you want to cancel the 3x, we need to multiply this entire thing by negative 3. So we get negative 3x, negative 15y equals positive 45. We are multiplying here, here, and here. The second equation is positive 3x minus 2y equals 23. So when you add, the x's get vanished, you get negative 17y equals 68. And then you keep multiplying 17 times 2, 17 times 3, 17 times 4. So the trick is whatever you're looking for a number, when you multiply, you want the last digit to be 8. For example, 7 times 2 is 14. We cannot multiply by 2. 7 times 3 is 21. We cannot multiply by 3. 7 times 4 is 28. 8 is on the right digit. So we are going to multiply 17 by 4. If you do that, you'll see this is 68. So it divide both of them by negative 17. So y is negative 4. So x plus 15 is negative 5y. So x equals negative 5y minus 15, which is negative 5 times negative 4 minus 15, which is 20 minus 15, which is 5. So x is 5. So you write the solution. X is 5, y is negative 4. And with this, we are done with section 4.123. So try doing the review sheet before next Friday, and If you have any question, we are going to go over that in class. And then we are going to start 4.5.